So this is what our Monday is looking like. A busy Monday ahead. Welcome to Monday. It is absolutely freezing, hence the beanie and this look. A busy week ahead. Lots of small tasks to do today. You know what it is, Monday, admin day. The big thing happening this week is tomorrow's PB attempts. So I'm excited about that. I'm gonna head home and grab an early lunch. And then my plan for the rest of the day, as you would have seen, there's a lot of admin to do, a little bit of client touch-ups to do as well. I'll try and walk you through as much of it as I can. There's some things I'm not gonna be able to show you just out of a confidentiality purpose. We got through the admin, it's done. Lots of spreadsheets, lots of numbers, lots of figures. That's what you get when the new financial year kicks off. It's PB day. The nerves, there's a little bit of nerves. There's a little bit of nerves. I've penciled in for roughly 11:30 to go out and do the PB attempt. Don't know how much work I'm gonna get done this morning. Obviously the key this morning is just hydration. The mind is in the right spot. It's just gonna be about execution today and making sure I get my splits correct, making sure I don't let adrenaline get the best of me. And I think we'll be able to get it done. Alrighty, warm up almost done. About to swap over to the speed shoes. Do a few strides, a few bends in those, and then we'll give it 5 minutes if I'm feeling good after that, and then we'll get into it. Race plan is this. We want to aim for anywhere between 3:23 and 3:25 per kilometre on the first one. I've got to be really careful that I don't go out too hard. 3:20 would be my absolute limit. I wouldn't want to go any quicker than that on the first one, because that will fatigue me for later on. So we'll go for 3:23, 3:25 on the first. The second K is probably the most important of the four of them. If I go too slow on the second one, then that sets me up for the third one to not be on pace. So target time to go through at the second will be 6:50 or less. And then the third one, 10:15 or less. And then the last K, we just give it our all. I'd be pretty confident that if I come through at 10:15 after the 3K, that we'll be able to stay under for the PB. Speed shoes are ready to rock and roll. So there's all those videos out there of your unemployed friend on a random Wednesday or whatever. So here's a new one for you. Your self-employed friend on a random Tuesday going after a 6-year-long PB. That's not bad, hey? You would normally start a 4K from the finish line, but because they've got the lane 1 and 2 gates up, I'm starting from the back straight, roughly 140 meters in front of the finish. So the first lap will be short and the other 9 will be full. So let's get into it. Fucking hell. I've done it. Oh. Oh. Oh, fucking hell. Oh. It was very poorly executed, but it doesn't matter because we've done it. 6 years, 6 fucking years, it's over. Oh. 318 on the first, and then 324. So that was solid, and it put me through at 6:42. So I was ahead of time by 8 seconds, which was good. And then the third K was that slow one, which I was worried about, which was the 3:33. So that put me to 10:15, which was bang on time that I wanted at the slower end. So then I knew I had to push in that last one, and I gave it as much as I could. The form was starting to collapse a little bit. I stayed strong, and then brought it home with a 3:31, which gets me to 13:46. So 6-second PB, and look, it's not world beating. 13:46 for a 4K is not world beating, but that is the trap that we all fall into. We compare ourselves. We're only comparing ourselves against ourselves. That's what a PB is, personal best. All that matters is that you go out and you try and break that. And I've done that today. I'm so happy. There were so many times my patience was tested over the past 6 years. It's really difficult mentally when you know what you were capable of. You know what you had done previously, and then you just can't do that anymore. And so then you push yourself too hard, and you get injured, and there's another setback, and it just rolls on and on and on and on. There was many times where I set the target to try and do this over the past 18 months since I started working with Link as a coach, and I just wasn't in the physical abilities to do it. And I said, all right, well, let's push it back another month. We'll set another time to do it. Then that time came up and I still wasn't in the condition for it. Push it back another month, and it just kept going, snowballing. And so there's plenty of moments there where I'm like, look, I may not ever get back there again. And you got to push those thoughts out your head. You got to be patient. Like, I'm a pretty patient kind of person, but I've learnt a new type of patience through this, which I'm really happy about. I'm just so fucking pumped, so proud to have gotten back. The bigger opportunity for you, as opposed to looking at this competition in September and saying let's show off the competition, I think a better move based on where you are at the moment could be to do up a video to explain what the sport is. And that, and then that, perfect. And that can sit on your landing page. And then when you go and talk to schools, or you go and talk to aged care, or whoever you go and talk to, you can say, hey, have a look at this 60-second video, this 90-second video. And then that can be the tool to start the conversation. So you want to know what it's like to be a business owner? Oh my gosh, the day has completely flipped on its head. Things have compounded, and the original plan is just gone. It's like we're going to be staying here late tonight because we've got a lot to get done, and we've lost a lot of time today. The reality, this is what it is, right? Not just the highs, got to show you the in-betweens, everything else, and this is the in-between. So there you go. How good are Singapore noodles? Too good. Quick little break, and now we're gonna get back into it. So got to onboard a client this evening, and then we're gonna start pre-production. I'm gonna walk you through the pre-production. So hold tight, it'll be here in just a moment. Okay, so questioning. There's an art form to questioning. When we're thinking about what a film is gonna sound like, feel like, look like, we're thinking of specific dialogue in our heads. And so when we question an interviewee, we want the words that come out of their mouth to be almost near identical to what is in our mind. So the idea with questioning is you want to phrase questions in a way that gives you 80% of the perfect dialogue that you're after. When you're answering a question, you feel like you have all the power. You feel like that you're in control of what you say. But actually, in reality, the way that the question is phrased and the way the question is asked dictates how much power the person holds answering the question. Okay, so to be clear, we don't just think of all the questions ourselves. We do use AI as part of this process. This was the first little bit, it was really crap. So then I gave it a bit more information based on our structures, and now it's given us a little bit more, but it's still not 100%. So what I'll now do is I'll go through these suggested questions, and then I'll pick out kind of what I think is a good place to start and then go from there. Well, this is the very first question we're going to ask the CEO. When people hear the word swag, what is a common misconception? So you'll see that I've taken that from the original question on Claude. In my opinion, I think it would be great to open up the film with, I think the biggest misconception people have when it comes to swag is, and that's really going to hook a potential customer into the film. It's not just, oh, this is us, you know, we've been around for how many years, all that crap that you normally hear in these kind of videos. It's hooking them straight in with something that they're probably interested about. Have I had that same misconception about swag? Am I thinking in the wrong way? Right? Gets them second guessing themselves, gets them really trusting that these are the right people because they're calling out that negative behavior. So what I've done from that first question is I've started typing out what I would love to see in a perfect world. And I've put that into Claude alongside all the questions that I've developed up to start building out the dream dialogue. It's acknowledged that I've done that at the start, and then it started giving all this extra stuff here. Now, a lot of it is a bit of fluff. So what I'll do is I'll copy that. I'll then cut it down to the parts that I like, maybe add a little bit myself, and then go back to my questions and ask myself, do these questions give me the best chance of getting that dialogue? And if they do, then they'll stay as they are. If they don't, I'll then tweak the questions to get them as close to the desired outcome that I'm seeking. This is how we're sitting now. So I've gone through and I've written up the entire dialogue for the whole film. As you can see, I've broken it down by speaker. There's a lot there from the CEO, which is what we're after. And then they are supplemented by the warehouse person and the design person. Now, this is still very early days in the planning, but you can see how we've gone from initial concept through to the dream dialogue and then the questions to achieve that dream dialogue. Is I will send this through to the client and I'll say, this is what we're thinking at the moment. What are your thoughts? They know their business inside out. They know their process inside out. We're an outsider, so we don't know that fully. They'll then come back to us with feedback and some suggestions. We'll implement that. And there might be a little bit of back and forth until we're both happy with how it's sitting, and then we'll lock that in for the filming in a few weeks' time. Welcome to Thursday. It has been a very rough start to the day. When I remove exercise from my routines, everything just falls apart. It's only been 2 days. I haven't done anything. I haven't done gym, I haven't done running for 2 days. Just working on a little bit of pre-production for a registrations video that I'm doing up for the VAL, working on the music at the moment. So this is my life. This is my life, right? Just sitting through music tracks and finding what works. This is what we're up to at the moment. And literally, it's just go from one to the next. That's not good. That's not good. So yeah, basically that's the life of a person who does videos for a living. You have to sit through sometimes hundreds of songs before you find the actual song that you want. I think the most important thing for when you're having a slow, unproductive day is just to start doing something. Doesn't matter what it is, how slow you do it, just do something. So that's the approach I've taken today. I haven't got tons done today, but I've gotten some things done. And so you count the blessing of what you got done, you take a small step forward as opposed to a small step back, and you're still making progress. I know that I'm capable myself to be able to hit every platform on both pages at the cadence that I want. And the cadence I want is what I was just working on this morning, just putting that visually so I can see that every day when I come into the office. But it's just a case of actually using my time wisely and making that happen. I have a 4.5 hour block in the morning where it's just focused on marketing activity. And I just need to use my time better in that 4.5 hour block in the morning to execute on the marketing. This is how I've been planning my days most of the time. So this is like my default day. what it looks like. And then what I do is I copy that and I put it into each day of the week here, Monday, Tuesday, etc. The structure of my day works well. That's why it's been solidified like this for so long. Now it's a case of just optimizing, particularly that 4.5 hour block in the morning, and making sure I use my time to the best it possibly can. 6 o'clock tonight, we're heading off to film at Squire's Loft. But before that, we're going to be working on my keynote speech that I'm doing in late August in New South Wales. I've got my entire script ready to go. Now it's a case of going through it, making sure the pacing's good, making sure it all flows correctly. And then once I have that all set out, we'll start memorizing it all so that I can get out there on the stage with no notes, no cue cards, and just go for it. So you have to go back with me to May of 2022. That's when I launched my business, Fix On Media Group. I was 18 years of age at the time, fresh out of school, and I had one clear objective, whilst one gets the job and the other does not. It's a work in progress, but it's getting there. Welcome to a very busy Saturday. We are en route this morning to Kew. Got a short little shooting session up there this morning with Rehab Plus. We're doing our monthly content shoot as well as filming a testimonial video this morning. And then tonight we've got the VAL Awards Night, which I'm looking forward to. It's always a good night, so that'll be good fun.
Who's the biggest flirt in the squad?
The biggest flirt? Oh, that's very controversial.
What's your favourite font?
Font. You're asking the wrong person here.
That's very controversial. I think we might need to Cooper Liebeck.
How many seconds would you plug into a microwave if you were reheating soup?
A minute and a half.
Minute and a half?
90 seconds.
Lock it in on that?
Yeah.
What's the main one?
What gets wetter as it dries?
2 hours later.
A towel. That took me so long.
Calibri? Calibri, we'll go with that.
What's the worst present someone's given you that you've had to pretend that you loved?
If someone's given me a present, it means they love me, and I'll love everything that someone's given me.
If you were in a 3-story building, would you take the stairs or the lift? The lift. The lift? The lift, definitely. With the US heavily committed in the situation in Strait of Hormuz, do you think the sovereignty of Taiwan is quietly slipping down Washington's priority list?
Oh my God. I don't know what to say to that, to be honest. Taiwan, I've never actually been there, so it's all right, I suppose. But yeah, no.
What's your favourite postcode?
3143.
I've also got some pretty average chocolate though, which I always pretend to like. So yeah.
This is probably the latest that I've ever been up, awake, out, whatever you want to call it. Normally for me, if I'm going to go out for some reason, 1 o'clock is kind of my cutoff. Normally I'm 1 o'clock, that's it, off I go to bed. And obviously it's now what, almost 3:30. I'm still driving home, but I've got plenty of time for good people who want to have genuine conversation. I'm a big fan of solid conversation, deep conversation with people and learning about who they are. And I was able to have that tonight, and that's why I was happy to stick around far beyond what I normally would, because I was having those conversations. For an after party of an awards night, normally you're thinking it's going to be a bit of a piss up, but this was really well organised, so kudos to Young Members Committee. We've done a fantastic job in organising this.
Not a whole lot to report on for Sunday today, taking it easy. Obviously big sleep in after the late night last night. Done a few little edits today from the awards night, but I'm just in the office now, unloaded the car, and now just planning out what the week looks like for the forthcoming week. And it'll be an early night tonight, I think. Back onto the 5 a.m. wake ups tomorrow and back into training. See you next week.